up on the world's most expensive rides. Precision engineering from a German speed machine. A legendary Italian superbike makes the leap from racetrack to Main Street. And a record-breaking speedboat inspired by the most expensive Mercedes in the world. What happens when you cross one of the world's leading luxury brands with the most successful Formula One racing team in history? The Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, inspired by the past and engineered for the future. The SLR packs a 617 horsepower supercharged V8 engine in a 15-foot, 4,000-pound Mercedes body. It comes in a coupe or a convertible roadster model. Both boast top speeds of 207 miles per hour, and both scream top of the line.
The concept of the Mercedes SLR was to set a high water mark for a road legal racing car. I mean, very much in the theme of a competition car, but a very expensive, high dollar, high end road car for fans of racing cars, and especially Mercedes history.
SLR stands for Sport Light Racing. So anything that they do in that brand is, has to do that it's a sport type of application. It's super lightweight, and it has an all carbon fiber body, which is very light.
It's an incredible, incredible machine. Under the hood, you'll see the most beautiful package you've seen. You can step on it and it'll go. That's 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. Just makes you smile every time.
The 5-speed manumatic transmission switches from manual to automatic with the flick of the finger paddle. The auto option makes this versatile speed demon a dream, even for the amateur, and puts the car in a class of its own. As one of the highest performing automatics in the world.
You can either use it shifting manually with the paddles or touch on the gear shift lever, or put it into full automatic and just enjoy the ride. This has got to be the fastest automatic transmission in the world.
This mechanical marvel owes its existence to an unusual alliance between two legendary automotive brands, one known for high-end luxury sedans, the other a Formula One legend.
Most of the technology that McLaren put into this car has come from their Formula One team. So there's a company that's spending millions and millions of dollars doing research to make sure they have the most advanced technology and the best performing car on the track, and then they take that and be able to apply it over into a street car. It's a formula for success.
Founded in 1963, McLaren forged a world-class reputation as winners in just about every category. It's the only team to win Formula One, Indy 500, Can-Am, and Le Mans, and even set a world speed record for its class in 1998, which held for 7 years.
It's a thrill to be able to drive that and know the heritage of this car.
McLaren applied the science and mechanics from this brilliant track record and took its inspiration from the glory days of Mercedes' own racing history, specifically the 300 SLR Silver Arrow. In 1955, British legend Stirling Moss drove this car to victory in the 1,000 endurance race, setting another new record. The resulting historical hybrid pulsates with race performance and track handling. This sporty street car hugs the road like a Formula One. Twin front spoilers keep it on the ground, and innovative ceramic front and air power rear brakes allow it to stop on a dime.
What Mercedes SLR has done with this car is just, it takes it to the next level. So to drive this car, it's precise, it's tight, the power is incredible. You think where you want it to go and you just give it a little turn and it just goes and sticks.
The SLR's one-of-a-kind shape comes from a strategically placed engine located directly behind the front axle. This gives the car optimum weight distribution as well as a sleek look.
It's really one of the first vehicles that truly shifted the proportions of a sports car. If you look at the proportions, the cockpit is really drawn back and the front end is very extended. It gives it a whole fresh, unique feel.
It looks like the cockpit is so far back. That's because they placed the engine so perfectly in the center where you have a perfect 50-50 weight distribution on this car. And with that perfect weight distribution, it enhances the handling so it's just near perfect, if not perfect.
Not only is the load well balanced, it's kept to a light, tight minimum, thanks to a revolutionary carbon fiber construction. This super light substance is standard issue for supercars, but with the SLR, McLaren used it to build a chassis system known as a structural skin, also called monocoque. The entire vehicle is constructed inside a rigid exterior chassis.
In monocoque construction, the bodywork and the frame are essentially one unit. In fact, it's called unit construction as an alternative name because the underlying panels that give the structure its strength and its rigidity are fused to the body panels, so you end up with a single one-piece structure that serves both the purposes of the frame and the body. It's not as common for carbon fiber to be used in a true monocoque as the SLR uses it. The construction is common, but using it with that material is pretty unusual.
They've incorporated just vast amounts of carbon fiber, and that, of course, you know that's the latest technology and the lightest, strongest, the best you can do. So the car is basically made entirely of carbon fiber.
Every aspect of the car's stylishly sculpted form serves a serious function. From the enormous shark-like gills which channel air to the engine, to carbon crumple zones under the hood. Innovations like this make the SLR one of the safest cars to drive.
The great benefit of carbon fiber is strength with lightweight, and the more of it you can use in the car, the greater benefit you get. A lot of rigidity, a lot of strength, even a lot of crashworthiness.
Valued at $495,000, driving this car is the ultimate in exclusivity. It was made for just 6 years, between 2003 and 2009, and only 712 are currently thought to be on American roads. Even an oil change for this baby will set you back a cool 10 grand. But for the select few who can own an SLR, the price tag is irrelevant compared to the car's superlative performance.
Once you walk up to the SLR and you push the button and the door scissors up, it kind of just gets the juices going. So when you get into this car and put the key in, the car doesn't start, but you get all these pre-flight sounds of whirling and whizzing, and your gauges go back and forth and they kind of cycle through everything. And once they've done that, then you're able to flip up the lever on your gear shift knob, touch the button like an old fighter plane, and the thing just springs to life. You grab the steering wheel, you look down the hood, and it's just the most incredible feeling. The fun thing about this, you step on the gas, it just lays your ears back. It makes you feel so good.
The SLR excites the senses for both driver and spectator, but the only way to experience the full effect is to strap yourself into the custom leather seats, pump up the 7-speaker Bose sound system, and enjoy every luxury you'd expect from a Benz.
People look at these cars and they think that they're race cars, but I'll tell you, you get in this car, it's just like getting in any other Mercedes. You've got every amenity you need. You have the navigation, you have the air conditioning, you have the wonderful stereo system. All the controls are right there at your fingertips.
The Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. Excellence on the track, elegance on the road, and respect for a racing tradition make this a supercar with an unparalleled pedigree. For those who want to live life at full throttle, Few motorcycles match this race-ready beauty built for the road. It's fast, stylish, and Italian, and brings the thrill of the MotoGP racetrack within reach of Main Street. Meet the Ducati Desmo Sedici RR, a medal-winning legend reborn. This sleek carbon fiber machine weighs in at a svelte 377 pounds, but packs a mind-bending 200 horsepower engine, giving it almost 10 times the power-to-weight ratio of the average supercar. The result is a top speed of 200 miles per hour. But it's not just high performance that makes this bike special. It's the race-tested heritage of Ducati on the MotoGP circuit.
MotoGP is pretty much to motorcycles what Formula One is to cars. This is all-out warfare. What makes this bike so unique, it is the one and only MotoGP replica race bike that you can purchase and ride on the street.
The 16-valve engine gives the bike its name. Desmo refers to Desmodromic, Ducati's revolutionary engine system. And Sedici means 16 in Italian.
The motor in the Ducati Desmo Sedici is an absolute monster. It's a ton of power to the ground real quick.
In the RR's Desmodromic engine, all 16-cylinder valves operate without springs, relying instead on the motion of the camshaft to open and close.
The Desmodromic valve system has been used by Ducati for many years. They have developed it and they've pretty much perfected it, and they're the only ones that currently use it. This valve system uses mechanical means to open and close the valves for better running at higher RPM. There are springs in there, but that helps it idle. But it doesn't have a conventional coil spring as in a regular engine, which is pretty unique for a Ducati engine. The Desmodromic valve system has one lobe on the cam that pushes it open, and then it has another one that follows behind and closes the valve. These are the valves, open and closing. That helps it run. It lets it breathe. It lets fuel in, and then it closes, and then it fires, and then it lets the exhaust out.
This enables the engine to rev higher because you've got a lot more control over it. And that has been the secret to Ducati's success, both on the road with their street bike engines and certainly on the racetrack with their racetrack engine.
This one-of-a-kind hunk of hot metal is the exact same engine as found on the MotoGP bike and churns out torque at rates rarely seen on a street-legal bike.
Torque is very important for motorcycles, especially racing and especially coming off of corners, because it's not horsepower that shoots you out of the corner, it's the torque of the engine.
Crank pins offset by 70 degrees enable a soft pulse firing order for each cylinder, making sure all that power is delivered smoothly. It helps that this state-of-the-art two-wheeler keeps the weight down with similar cutting-edge technology, like titanium rods and magnesium alloy rims.
And it's something really that the race bikes have. It's really very, very expensive to do that with production motorcycles.
The Desmo comes with two exhausts, one for daily use with a catalytic converter, and a super light titanium race exhaust that boosts horsepower by up to 10%. Ducati opened up shop in the 1920s in Bologna, Italy. The company was first known for making shortwave radios and then bicycles. But by the 1950s, its motorcycle race team was a legend. The Desmo Sedici RR builds on this history. In 2007, Ducati began a limited production run of just 1,500 machines, each one a hand-built lesson in motorcycle history.
Ducati is a very small Italian motorcycle manufacturer, but because they're Italian, they have passion. Passion about racing, design, heritage, community, everything, and it translates through their motorcycles.
Great heritage, fabulous racing roots, an Italian racing red. I mean, this is the Ferrari of motorcycles.
Owners of these unique motorcycles tend to run in packs, like this group of Southern California Ducati fans who meet every week to show off their exotic machines and put their skills to the test.
Most people with exotics will probably put them away, save them. I find that a lot of this Desmos Adichie people, we will take them out, put them on the track, put them to good use. The whole idea of purchasing a bike like this is to take it out and take it to its full potential.
And when I start thinking about going into a corner, I'm already in the corner, knee down, going through it. The bike reacts before I tell it to do anything.
And even if full-on pro racing is out of your league, the all-Italian Ducati Desmos Adichie RR will make you feel like a champ. Since its inception in Germany back in the 1920s, the famous Benz logo has rarely, if ever, appeared on the bow of a boat. And certainly not on an extreme, record-breaking powerboat like this marine muscle ride.
I feel this is one of the coolest boats in the world because it's different than any other boat out there. Built after the baddest Mercedes in the world.
Climb aboard a one-of-a-kind catamaran modeled on the world-famous Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, right down to its outrageously high performance. This supercar on the sea was created for the owner of a Mercedes-Benz dealership and now travels to race events all over the country with co-pilots Larry Goldman and Gino Gargula and the help of an ingenious towing technique. From its twin bling-packed bows to stylishly trimmed stern, this MTI Mercedes, made by Missouri boat builders Marine Technology, stretches 44 feet and spans a full 12 feet port to starboard. It's almost 3 times longer and double the width of the original four-wheeled SLR, and way too wide to tow normally and still be street legal.
It stops traffic. The whole rig, the truck and trailer and the boat, it literally stops traffic on the water and on the highway and in town, everywhere we go.
At just over 10,000 pounds and loaded with twin 1,550 horsepower engines, this inspired creation is twice as heavy as a regular SLR with 5 times the thrust. The extra power coming from dual Whipple superchargers, creating an unprecedented and hungry propulsion package.
This boat burns 116 octane racing fuel. It holds about 400 gallons, and it could go through 400 gallons in about an hour and a half at wide open throttle.
With the pedal to the metal, this $1.2 million monster flies over waves at exhilarating speeds of up to 185 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in just 8 seconds.
The acceleration is so quick. You're doing a football field every 10 seconds or so. And it lays you back in your seat. The G-force is just incredible. Then you're pounding waves. Everything's changing rapidly. You have tunnel vision while you're driving. And the power and the speed, that's just incredible.
You know, you'll be accelerating, and you'll think you'll be doing 80, and you look at the GPS, and you're at 140. You know, it's just that quick. You know, you're up to 150 in literally seconds.
Performance like this makes the MTI Mercedes a frequent winner in offshore races, including a record-breaking long-distance run between Florida and the Bahamas.
This boat actually broke a record in this boat for the fastest boat to go from Miami to Bimini and back to Miami, over 107 miles through the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf Stream. We did that record in 1 hour and 44 seconds.
Yeah, that's nice.
But despite its impressive race record, this baby gets the most attention for its Germanic good looks. From body shape to functionality, the boat sports an uncanny resemblance to its car cousin, for a very good reason.
They took an SLR, they took it apart and used a lot of the components in this boat. For instance, the switches in the passenger side handles are actually the window switches from the SLR. When you sit in the boat, it does feel like you're sitting in a Mercedes. The dash is laid out exactly like a Mercedes.
Everything's special. It's a one-off boat that was built custom with the Mercedes theme, and it's won awards. It's just a one-of-a-kind piece.
Even in Florida, where exotic watercraft battle for attention, there's only one Mercedes of the waves, although there is now also a Ferrari. In 2009, Marine Technologies launched an exact replica of an F440 from the iconic Italian automakers. It's another unique masterpiece that soaks the supercar concept and powerboat chic. This one is worth a cool $1.2 million. All it takes is engineering innovation, imagination, and boatloads of money to transform a supercar into a super boat and one of the world's most expensive rides. From the mysteries of mind-blowing extravagance to the science of record-breaking speed. Wild cars, crazy boats, killer bikes, and massive tarmac-shattering trucks. The priciest, prettiest, and most insanely advanced vehicles on the planet. That's just the way we roll on the world's most expensive rides.